तो लोगों ने वो they scraped thermocol and उसमें soil भर के they were using as a planter. Definitely, I don't know if it is safe for the plant, but definitely a good solution if there is no recycling happening. The problem he faced was that he was not able to sell the tiles. There was no market for plastic tiles. The government was not buying it.
Hello everyone. Today we are joined by Sanyam, who is an innovator in the waste recycling space. Sanyam is the director of Thermo Waste Solutions, which is into plastic collection recycling. And Sanyam is doing a great job in this space in the Delhi NCR area. So Sanyam, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Welcome.
It's my pleasure and congratulations on starting this podcast series. So, and it's really good that new podcast. You guys are focusing on waste management and sustainability. So it is definitely giving us a push and a motivation to do more and to do continue the work that we are doing.
Great.
So thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming. So Sanyam, let's start with your journey. How did you get into this space? So even before that, what was your education? How did you explore this space? How did you get into waste recycling? And in specific, how did Thermo Waste Solutions come into fruition? How did the entire Thermo Waste Solutions come to being? That would be great to know.
So I was doing my graduation from Delhi University, and in my second year, so my father he was already running a company, Microgartex Industry. Okay, and he was recycling plastic and thermocol during that time. So it is not me who founded this work, but my father. Due to some family emergency, I had to come into this business because my father was involved in some other things.
Mhm.
So I came into it like this. I already had plans to join my father's business, to join my family business, but
Mhm.
definitely after some, post graduation or something. But it was in between of my graduation that I got into this business, and it has happened with many entrepreneurs that they were just at the right place at the right time. So when I joined this business, that was the time when plastic recycling and plastic waste management got a lot of attraction in India. It
Mhm.
was during those years only that Plastic Waste Management Rule 2016 got into force, and several key amendments came into the law, which streamlined the process and which compelled a lot of brand owners and manufacturers to follow this law.
Mhm.
So it was kind of a coincidence or a blessing in disguise that when I joined the business, a lot of reforms and a lot of attraction industry got, and
Mhm.
that made me continue doing my work and my going with the dropping the plans of post graduation at that time and continue with the business that I am in. And we I was also lucky to get in touch with a lot of good organizations, get a lot of media traction, get a lot of collaboration with government organizations, and so all of these synergies happened, and it made me it brought an interest in me, and definitely because I put up in East Delhi, so I've always been looking at the Gazipur landfill, and it is
Okay.
one of the things that every Delhiite is has once in a while, once in a lifetime, has thought that we need to do something for this. So
Mhm.
similarly, I also had this thing that something needs to be done for this, and luckily I was in this sector, and I have the opportunity to work on this. So yeah, that is how Micro Gartex turned into Thermo Waste Solutions. When I joined in, so me and my sister, we definitely brought new things to the company. We brought new technology. We brought new collaboration. We brought new work for the company, and we kind of turned it from an informal sector recycling company to a very much of a formal sector recycling company. So that is has been the journey, and that is my contribution to it and how I got into it.
I think that's a really nice journey overall. So you joined in 2016, right? And uske baad you have been here since the last 8 years. You and your sister as well, who've been in the
Yes,
business for the last
yes.
8 years. So in this 8 years, waste
Not
recycling.
exactly 8 years. It's been 6 years. Around 2018, I came when in my second year of graduation.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the rule came in 2016, but it was still a very heavy law, and there were not clear directions. It was in 2018 that a lot of amendments and a lot of push from the government's end came, and actual implementation happened.
ठीक है. But you mentioned कि जैसे this sector is a very in like it has a lot of unorganized people in the market because it involves waste
Yes.
collection, rack pickers, and then also waste segregation recycling. So over the last
Right.
6 years, what are some of the challenges that you have faced in this journey? Because it involves a lot of players from homes to
Right.
collection, and then it has to come to your factory and where you process it. So, what has been some
Yes.
of the challenges that you faced in this entire journey?
So yeah, so see, we recycle two type of waste. If I categorize them broadly, one is post-consumer waste and one is post-industrial waste.
Mhm.
Post-industrial waste is the waste that we collect from the manufacturing units, and post-consumer waste is the waste that we get from households. So earlier we thought we tried of making our own independent mechanism, our own independent, you know, collection system from residential colonies. We tried our hands on that, but it was a complete failure. We because economics was not, making sense. And we, since I belong to a Banya family, we didn't have this ideology of burning or making losses and disrupting the market. The idea was clear from the day one. Whatever we'll do it with profitability because we believe that only that business is sustainable over a long period of time.
Mhm.
So definitely collection part was a challenge, and it is then we realized that we cannot disrupt this market. We need to educate the unorganized market and collaborate with them. Only then this collection thing can be possible. Even today it is the unorganized, I mean, we call it unorganized, but it is a very organized in terms of their operation. They have their set of SOPs and how they work. It's a very clear thing. It's just that it's not on papers, but they have their routine fixed. So we collaborated with this unorganized market. Today we are working with over 60 plus rag pickers and their families. So we have a network of 60, whom we used to call kabadi wala, but today the government calls them Safai Mitra. So this is a
Mhm.
very good thing, a change that has come. So we
Understood.
work with 60 plus Safai Mitra who are spread across between Yamuna River and Hindan River, covering East Delhi, Ghaziabad, and Noida. So they collect waste from these household and residential areas and they only bring to our facilities. So
Okay.
one challenge we had was how to collect the waste from residential areas, and
Mhm.
how we overcame that was by working with these unorganized, as people call them, but they are not unorganized. So we collaborated with them, we worked with them closely, and that is a set system how we collect the waste now.
Okay, so
So the
just to summarize, you are right now collecting waste as well by collaborating with the the so-called unorganized sector, and you're supporting the 60 families there, and then they get the waste to your plant, where you again process it, right? That
Yes,
is the
right,
entire journey so far. Okay.
right.
so the Safai Mitra thing that you spoke about, is it a part of the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan by the central government, or is it the a new program initiated under the Delhi government?
No, no, it
Usman?
was under the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan only, and
Mhm.
many state governments also, so it all began with the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, you know, that, when all the government across all party lines, so I mean, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is something which is above the party lines, political
Right.
party lines. All
Mm-hmm.
the state governments have their initiatives working, you know, who are in link with the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing that Bharat Abhiyan did was it sensitized people about waste management, about waste collectors, rat pickers, and it was another step by the government that they brought a term for all these rag pickers and all as Safai Mitra, because
Mm-hmm.
when we add an emotion to it of Mitra or
Yeah,
friendship, so definitely your sense of respect comes in.
that's true.
So that is how it all came.
Amazing. Uh, we'll talk about your company now, Thermo Waste Solutions. So,
Yes,
can you explain the core technologies or the processes that you employ in recycling waste at your company?
right. So see, even today in India, 94% of plastic waste recycling that is happening through mechanical recycling.
Mm-hmm.
Mechanical recycling is a traditional form of recycling in which plastic waste is turned into plastic granules, and
Mm-hmm.
these plastic granules are again used in manufacturing of some plastic. Okay,
So is this
so
under
then
high temperature and pressure, or is there any particular like machine or something which
so
turns this
so there's a
plastic into
machine. So yeah, so there's a machine which has electrical heaters and a mechanical barrel in which there's a screw rotating and turning that waste into lumps, and then those lumps are turned into granules. So
Mhm.
the technology has been there from a long while now. What difference we are doing is that earlier thermocol was not being recycled through this technology. It was not at all being recycled. We did some research and development with companies who manufacture these machines, and we were able to get a system for thermocol recycling using the existing technology, that know-how, but we did some tweaks in it. We did some the designing of the machine was changed in a way that thermocol can now also be recycled. Earlier, be it water bottles, be it polythins, poly bags, these were being recycled, but thermocol was not being recycled because we knew that it has to be recycled through mechanical recycling because of its chemical properties, but the design of machine was not there, was not intact. So that is what we brought in, and we started. We are among the first authorized recyclers in the country.
Oh,
So
wow.
that is what difference, or USP, I would say, we have, or the core technology that we possess. Yesterday only I was at a conference organized by Material Recycling Association of India. So MRAI, it is the apex body of recycling in India. So even their directors, they were shocked and happy at the same time to know that thermocol is being recycled. So even the people who are at the core of recycling, they were not sure that whether thermocol is getting recycled. So that is the new, I would say, kind of a new innovation in existing technology that we did, and we started recycling of thermocol.
I think that's
uh,
interesting. I would just want to before we proceed here, I think just for everyone's understanding, could you tell us what are the different types of plastics which are there, and why did you choose the thermocol section within it? Is it because ki और कोई
Okay.
players नहीं थे, no one was doing it, or did you, or was there some other metric in your mind कि ये recycle नहीं होती या फिर इसमें profit margin ज़्यादा है? So what was the exact thinking behind choosing uh, this section?
Right. So see, if I talk about different kinds of plastic, so uh, there are 100 types of plastic, because a different plastic is made using two types of plastic. So categorizing or telling what are the different types of plastic is a very long question. Okay, to answer broadly, in terms of recyclability, there are two types of plastic. One is thermoplast and other is thermoset. Thermoplast plastic is the plastic which can be recycled using the mechanical recycling process.
Oh.
Basically, that this plastic can be melted and again turned into a new form.
Mhm.
Okay, basically
so
that is
इसमें आपका वो
recycling.
सब
When
PP, HDP and all this come in.
exactly PET, HDP,
Right.
LDP, PVC, all these come under this category. Then is thermoset plastic, the plastic which cannot be melted and turned into new form. That is thermoset, जिसमें ABS या फिर engineering plastics और ये सब भी आ जाते हैं.
Okay.
So and या फिर जो multi layered plastic है. So
Mhm.
this is the broad differentiation of plastic. Now, why we chose thermocol? There are multiple reasons. One, that there were no other players working on it. It was not being recycled. It was landing into landfills. Second, the knowing the chemical properties and the mechanical properties of thermocol, we knew if it gets recycled, it would be an alternative to a very much used plastic, and hence there will be a difference in the price of the existing plastic that is being used and the plastic that we'll create. So there is a huge gap between that. So
Mhm.
this gap would be our profit. So we knew that there is some profitability in it. So that is why. So that is this is the second reason. The third reason, or I would say the starting point, also I can call it, was that we have a few relatives who are into manufacturing of thermocol. So
Oh.
even they were generating waste at their plant, and
Mhm.
they needed a solution for it. So the starting point was that we already had a set of people who were facing this problem in their manufacturing plant. Definitely the entire city was facing in the waste management of thermocol, but we also had one starting point. as our relatives who were facing this in their own manufacturing unit. So it all started there,
Mhm.
and it started with finding a solution for their 500 kgs or waste. And today, last year only, last financial year in 23-24, we recycled 250,000 kgs of post-consumer thermocol waste.
That's
Wow,
So
terrific.
impressive.
I'd like to share that if all of this waste, 250,000 kgs of post-consumer thermocol waste is stacked up, we
Mhm.
will create a pyramid which is 400 times the height of Pyramid of Giza.
Wow.
So you can imagine the quantum, there would be another 10 Gazipur landfills just of thermocol.
And this you are doing only in the Delhi NCR area, Avi, and you have not
So
gone
no,
to other
so
parts of the
no,
country.
no. So we have one plant coming in Surat very soon. It's on the verge of starting, and just some initial trials are going on, and all the government formalities of getting the license and everything that is on the go. So once
Mhm.
we are done with the licensing thing, it will be you know. So the plant is already there. We are just left with the initial certification that needs to go. So yeah, that is there.
Yeah, I think what has been very interesting in this journey is कि एक कोई problem था जो तुम्हारे circle या में किसी ने face करा, and then you took that as
Yes,
a starting point. You started, and also because you had a background here, you started with that, and then a synergies of a lot of other reasons: the right timing,
yes,
the environment, your family background, the cause that is there, the profitability margin that you were able to figure out. I think काफी सारे reasons के
Government reforms were also in the same direction.
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I'm telling you that a lot of push came because the government reforms were there.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely I had all these synergies, of having a family background, of having knowing the technical know-hows of thermocol, and being able to understand that what are the chemical properties through which we can, generate profit.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this was there, but when the
कोई
uh,
मीडिया अटेंशन भी
EPR
चाहिए
law.
एक पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर को ग्रो
Exactly.
करने के लिए.
So the initial days when I started in this, there were a lot of people who were like, you are young, and what are you turning yourself into a kabaddi wala? So that was the initial thoughts of a lot of people. But I remember Channel News Asia, one of the prominent international news channel. They reached out to us. They wanted to cover our facility. They wanted to do an exclusive interview for me, and they telecasted it on a prime show. That
Wow.
was when that we all are looking for some recognition as well. So
Yeah.
that happened. Since then there has been no looking back or any sense of doubt in my work. I'm like, yeah, if we've got some profits, we've got huge media attention, we've got a lot of recognition that we are doing good work, and what else does an entrepreneur need?
So the next thing that I want to know is from your website, from reading about your company, I got to know that you guys are picking up waste and you're recycling it. But what exactly is the end product of that recycling that you're doing? Are you just producing manuals or you're also producing consumable goods?
So we are only manufacturing today granules out of it, plastic granules. We are only manufacturing plastic granules. But what we do is that we have a research and development team who helps companies and manufacturers to build new products using it. So
Mhm.
last year, last year, we did a research and development, and we were able to create a mechanism through which plastic bangles can be made out of using 100% of our granules only. Earlier, these granules were made using fresh or new plastic, which is called virgin plastic. You
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
today in Jaipur, there are manufacturers who are now manufacturing plastic bangles entirely made out of recycled granules made by us.
Oh wow.
So, plastic bangles, and these are very funky and trendy
Uh,
plastic bangles, with all colors, with all pastel colors, with jet black color also, and all different colors that a fashion Gen Z would like to have. So this is something that we are some of the products that we are very fortunate of having done the research on,
mhm.
and it's a very consumable product, that every household must be using plastic bangles. Every girl must have used it once in a while. So this is one of the products that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Another product that we have is which is on trials going on, that now we are working with one of the refrigerator, you know, uh,
Companies.
refrigeration company who
Mm-hmm.
manufacture fridge for us. So we are now working with them that the inner component, the bottle stacker that is there, right? In every fridge, there's a bottle stacker made of plastic.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we are now working with a company that they can manufacture this bottle stacker using 80% of the virgin plastic that they are using, and
Mm-hmm.
additionally 20% of our recycled granule. So,
यार ये तो बहुत
that's a,
इंटरेस्टिंग यार बिकॉज राइट नाउ यू आर वर्किंग नॉट ओनली एट द एंड और एट द स्टार्ट ऑफ द सेक्शन जहाँ पे वेस्ट कलेक्शन होता है बट यू ऑल्सो इन बिटवीन वेर यू आर प्रोसेसिंग इट एंड एट द एंड जहाँ पे कुछ आउटपुट आना है यू एटलीस्ट हैव द बेस ऑफ एन आर एन डी टीम विच कैन कम अप
yes.
विद
See, that
आइडियाज
is
फॉर यू एंड फॉर द अदर कंपनीज एज वेल ऑन व्हाट कैन बी बिल्ड
exactly because only then the circular loop will close.
या
Recycle. See, a lot of one of the biggest problem that many recycler or people working in the waste sector face is that they do not have a sales point. They are not able to sell their products. There are a lot of recycled products that come up, but they are not able to sell them to the public, and because of that, they have to shut down. So we are working definitely on the collection and recycling of plastic, but we are also working on where this recycled plastic will go. We need to figure out that as well, because only then the loop will close.
So are
So
you
So,
do you also have plans to get into manufacturing yourself? Like currently you are giving R&D ideas to your customers, and it is also in a way enabling the market, making the market bigger, which will also help you.
yes,
But do you also plan into getting into manufacturing and building these custom products because they can have big value? Recycled products today is very
not right now. Not right now, because right now our goals is to increase our capacity
Mhm.
to venture into new cities
Okay.
where we can recycle more thermocol,
Mhm.
and along with that we want to build more products,
Mhm.
that what can be made, and there are already players who are manufacturing. Somebody is already manufacturing the components of fridge.
Mhm.
So we want to align with them.
Mhm.
One principle that we have ingrained from our father is always look for partnerships. Don't be in a this attitude or mindset that we'll only do something. We are always looking for partners. We want people who have the expertise, who have the knowledge, who have a set business going on. We want to partner with them so that it is profitable for them also and for us also, and it's
Mhm.
easier. you know the goal is our goal is not to disrupt the market. Our goal is to align the market.
I mean, alone you can
Got it.
only do so much, but in collaboration, there's much more chances of success.
The possibilities are endless, when we collaborate with people having similar thoughts, or same synergy. So the possibilities are endless, because in that case their ideas and their R&D also comes in, their expertise also adds value, and that's how we make a better thing.
Mhm.
I have one question before we jump on to the next section. Is that you mentioned about granules, and
Yes.
so how is the granule which comes out of virgin plastic different from the one that comes out of recycled plastic? Is there a quality difference, and do the
Yes,
manufacturers
definitely.
prefer the one which is coming out of virgin, or do they also accept the ones which come out of recycled plastic?
So see, definitely there's a difference in the chemical and mechanical properties.
Position. Hmm.
The Yes, the virgin plastic granules, they have better qualities, and they, you know the qualities or the set parameters, they can be made custom in virgin plastic, because it's being done in the lab or in a facility.
Mhm.
But since the feedstock of recycled granules
Mhm.
cannot be customized, I cannot change the type of waste that is coming. I'll get the waste which is in the market, right, which is already there. So I
Yeah.
have to treat that. So I cannot customize or change the properties. I can definitely make sure that the feedstock that goes in is best of quality, doesn't have any impurities in it. I can only control that. I cannot customize it. So see, for example, I'll tell you that the granules that we manufacture by recycling thermocol are similar to general purpose polystyrene. Okay, GPPS.
Okay.
So virgin GPPS is used in manufacturing of a lot of electrical appliances and a lot of plastic, even all these geometrical scales or sharpener, or the components of a refrigerator, or even photo frames. These are made using general purpose polystyrene. Okay, so the company which manufactures general purpose polystyrene, they have different grades of GPPS, you
Okay.
know, which has different, that this grade will start melting at this temperature,
Okay.
that this grade will create this much length using this much weight of the
Ah,
granules. So they can customize, right?
okay.
I, as a recycler, because the stock that is coming in, it is not customizable. It is
Hmm.
what it is. So that is why I cannot bring in different grades.
Got
But
it. Mhm.
what I'm doing is that I'm cleaning my material. I'm making sure that nothing except thermocol is going into the manufacturing process, and I'm using the best of filters to remove the impurities in it. And we are also making different grades by sorting the material, that the thermocol piece which is full of dirt, or food waste or anything, that goes into a different batch. The thermocol which is partially clean, that goes into a different batch, and the plus thermocol which we are getting from manufacturing units, which is absolutely clean, that goes into a different batch. So we are making different batches as well. Coming to the question that how much is the difference in the chemical
Properties.
properties,
Uh-huh.
because any manufacturer, they'll be looking at the chemical and mechanical properties to it.
Mm-hmm.
So we are also among one of the very few recyclers in country who are giving technical data sheet. So a technical data sheet comes with the virgin plastic, that these are the strength of this. This is the melting point. This is the MFI, which is material flow index, that how much flow it will give. There are like around 7 to 8 technical properties on which a granule is specified. We are
Mm-hmm.
among the very few recyclers in the country who are also giving technical data sheet of our recycled granules. So suppose a company purchases a a container or something of recycled granules from us. So with that, we will give the technical data sheet of that batch. So we are giving that. So the company knows exactly how these granules will react in their manufacturing process.
Mm.
So
But I can
this
really relate with what you said right now, at least for the grades, because मेरी भी जो family business है, that is also into a type of plastics called PTFE. So they are into
okay.
that particular grade of plastic.
Teflon.
But I can relate with you a lot when you say कि the amount of credibility that builds up, or the trust that builds up when you give the
A
specifications.
technical data sheet. Yeah.
Yeah, the technical data sheet,
Yes.
because it shows कि okay, this is the parameter, it is tested. So at least
Yes.
that
We are telling you
credibility
that this is the
does build
tensile
up.
strength, and we are not hiding. See, no recycler can claim that our granules are as good or better than the virgin. That is not possible.
Possibility.
So
Yeah,
that is
that's
why
possible.
that is not possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I am telling that this, and so the technical data sheet that we give has two columns in it. One which shows the properties of our granules, and one which shows the properties of the virgin plastic. So they can compare.
In compare
So
now.
essentially,
And
difference कितना होता है? Like in terms of quality, is it
so I'll
like
tell you. Yes, yes,
50%
yes.
or
So I'll tell you. Yes, yes. So in GPPS, one of the key properties is tensile strength. That what is the strength of plastic? Okay. So the tensile strength of a virgin GPPS is 475 units. Okay.
Okay.
And of our and of our grades, we have three grades. So it starts with 415, and the best one has 430. So 475 is the of
In plastic.
virgin one, and
Seems
415 to 430 is of ours. Yes.
okay.
so 10%
Then
is the
then comes
average?
the material. Yes. Then comes in material flow index. So yeah,
Mm.
in this, I would counter my own claim that I cannot say that virgin plastic doesn't, the recycled plastic cannot be better than
Good.
virgin one. So
Mm.
MFI of, yeah, so MFI of virgin GPPS is 8. Okay, and MFI of one of our grades is 12. So it is actually better.
Higher tensile strength. Yeah, yeah.
And of other grades, it is somewhere around 6, 7. Yeah, so that is how. But in one of the grades, it is better than the virgin one. That is because our GPPS is made using thermocol, and general virgin GPPS is made just by GPPS. So since the thermocol has more of a flow, that is why our grade has better MFI. It is nothing to do with our recycling technology. We do not say that. It is simply because thermocol has more MFI. That is why our recycled granules have more of MFI.
Interesting.
So does the question remains that do manufacturers are willing to use these granules? Definitely the manufacturers, because it is cost effective, it makes an economic sense, it makes a profitability. So the prices of these recycled granules are any day 15 to 20% less than 15% less than the virgin plastic. So a 15% margin is very good for any manufacturer to look into it. It is very lucrative for them. So
Look
definitely,
for switcher
if they
alternatives. Hmm.
yes,
15% तो
so if
काफी सही है.
they look, huh?
15% तो काफी सही है margin in this space at least.
Exactly. So when they, yeah, exactly. So when they see that 15% bach raha hai, so they, that is the first attraction that they get. Then second, then they see that that the all the marketing that they can do around it, that that our products are sustainable. That gives them, it makes their product a
Makes more
premium
sense.
product in itself.
Hmm.
So since there's a profitability, there's a sense of environment friendliness in it. Definitely, companies are, or have started exploring this market as well. And also the draft is in place, and we are hopeful by the end of this year, CPCB will come up with mandatory use of recycled granules. They'll set targets for the brands that they have to use this much of recycled granules, so that will definitely give another push to the market.
Wow, yeah,
Hmm.
that's really, really interesting.
Yeah, so I was telling the economics of the post consumer recycled granules. So as
Hmm.
I told that around 35 rupees to 40 rupees is the landing cost of the waste. Then
Hmm.
comes in another 5 6 rupees of segregation of it,
Hmm.
and then the manufacturing cost, which was around 17 to 18 in post industrial one, it
Hmm.
gets higher in the recycled post consumer, because the capacity of
Hmm.
turning thermocol into granules reduces in
Smaller
post
unit.
consumer waste, because
Hmm.
uh, in a day, that in a day, suppose we are able to recycle around 2000 kgs of post industrial waste, we are only able to recycle around 1500 to 1600 kgs, because we have to change the filters again and again. We are
Hmm.
able to the laying is slow and all these things. So the cost increases from 18 to around 20 to 23. So we have 40 as the landing cost, then another 7 as 47, and then another 22. So somewhere around it reaches to
69,
70
yeah,
around.
yeah.
Yeah, so 70. So then we sell these then another cost is of all these overhead expenses of commissions and all. So the finally we are somewhere around 74, and we sell these granules for 79 to 80 rupees per kg. So
Okay.
Hmm.
in any grade, the net after interest and taxes, so we are getting somewhere around 4 rupees or something on per kg in any of the set grade. So these are
इसका
the
selling
unit
cost
economics.
selling cost क्या था, क्या बताया आप for post consumer waste?
7980.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So on an average, we are able to fetch somewhere around 3 to 4 rupees per kg on any annual grade that we are manufacturing. So, and apart from that, another revenue stream that we have is EPR credits. So under the plastic waste management rule, there is a mechanism in which the all the brand owners and producers of plastic have to purchase recycling certificate from a recycler, and so that gives us around rupees 1 to 1.5 per kg of recycling that we do. So
Hmm.
that is another revenue stream that the government has brought in to the for the recyclers.
Perfect, understood. So I will just summarize this for our viewers. Just the post-industrial and post-consumer waste का जो economics है that you explained. For post-industrial waste, you have 15 rupees approximate, and all these are tentative numbers. So
Yes,
15 rupees approximate collection cost, 45 rupees is your the cost
purchase.
to buy the clean waste from the industry, and 20 rupees approximate is converting that waste to granules through your machinery in your factory. and
Yes.
5 rupees is the overhead expenses of marketing, R&D, and
Yes.
etc. And
Right.
this totals up to 85 rupees, which is your cost price, and you sell it at around 91 to 92 rupees, and
Yes.
that brings your profit before tax to 7% approximate, give and take.
Right. Right.
And similar, more or less similar is your unit economics for post consumer waste also, given the cost price
Right.
and selling price thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
So Satyam,
Exactly. So
I have one follow-up question here. So overall, if you see the margin is around 4% के आसपास is the margin that you're making. So do
yes.
you think
Yes.
going forward there are sections in this entire chain जहाँ पे cost थोड़ी कम हो सकती है so that your margins increase? Like where do you think is the bottleneck जहाँ पे अगर कुछ improvements हो जाए margins में you will actually start doing much better because 4% is still a little less unless you are
Exactly.
doing at a
See.
big
So
scale.
exactly. See. So this is. I mean, the very bleak net profit percent is one of the reasons that there are not much, or I mean, I don't know, there are not much funded startups, funded recyclers in the country, because any investor, they look for profit margins much higher than that. That is why, as of today, these businesses are not investable. They can be bootstrapped, they can be family owned. That is why still many MSMEs and family owned recyclers are only you know uh, progressing, or dominating the market. This is one reason, because this business is not investable for investors, because the
Mhm.
mark because they won't get the exit, a good exit, or a high profit. That is not preferable for them. uh, we How we can increase our profits, that we are definitely working on, but what we can see is that it's going to be a unit game, that when we'll increase the quantities,
Capacity.
when we'll
Mm.
increase the quantum, it is
Mm.
only then that there would be the fixed cost, they will reduce, and the profits will increase with the quantity. For example, today if I'm recycling 2000 kgs a day, I'll be able to generate more profit when I'll be recycling, say, 3000 kgs,
10,000.
or 4000 kgs.
Of
The
course.
profits will come more with the numbers only.
The numbers.
The profit percent won't change much. It will, if today it is 4%, it might go to 6 7%. But we are not expecting that the profit percent will increase significantly. That is,
For the
we are not able to see that.
passages that you're dealing in. कितने units में तुम काम कर रहे हो,
Yes.
that is the most important thing here.
Yes. Yes.
Got it. Yeah, so the entire waste space is very interesting, and जैसे as you mentioned, there's a post-industrial waste, there's a post-consumer waste. But do you see
Yes.
yourself going into any other kind of waste, like जैसे solid waste हो गया या फिर your e-waste? So do you see yourself going into any of these other waste spaces, or you think this space in
Uh,
itself is so big that you would want to be here?
See, firstly, definitely I want to increase my capacity or my impact in thermocol,
Mhm.
because, even today, definitely we are the pioneers in it, but we
Mhm.
are also, there are very, very few who are
Mhm.
doing thermocol today.
Mhm.
So, because the challenges of collection is a big problem.
Mhm.
So, I want to first explore more cities for thermocol, definitely. But having said that, I have a very key interest in working for the water bodies. I want to do
Okay.
projects where we clean the rivers or ponds, and I want to bring in there are boats and
Yeah,
some boat related
I've seen
technology
that video.
through
I've
which we
seen
can
that.
collect, yeah,
Yeah.
which we can collect plastic waste. So
Mhm.
that is one thing I have interest in it, and I'm already in conversations with manufacturers, or people who are doing research on it. I'm in conversations with them, and I'm hoping that by the end of this year, or in the starting of next year, we'll start venturing into
That's
cleaning of
awesome.
rivers, or and someday oceans, definitely.
Wow, yeah, I think that's a very uh like that's an amazing goal to have. Very, very impactful.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's great to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the waste recycling industry is evolving rapidly as we speak, and
Yes.
it is the future only looks bright from here. This is the starting point for everyone who's there in this space. Where do you see this industry heading in the next 5, 10 years, and how do you see the government incentives or policies that could support businesses like yours in this sector?
See, definitely the industry is growing, and there was a time when petrochemicals, when plastic made using petrol had a boom, right? When
Yeah.
plastic was introduced. Before
Yeah.
that, paper was the thing.
Yeah.
Then plastic was the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
With these natural resources, depleting day and day. So definitely recycled plastic would be the next big thing. It is already being predicted by a lot of economists and industry leaders that waste management and specifically plastic recycling is
Mm-hmm.
going to be the next business, or the next big industry
Mm-hmm.
worldwide also, and for India definitely, because India has shown that it is very much serious for its sustainability goals and for carbon emission goals and waste management. India has shown it on ground also and on global platforms that it is very much serious about its waste management industry.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely government is going to play a very key role,
Mm-hmm.
and government is already playing key role, and all state governments and the central government, they are bringing in reforms. They are doing conferences, they are doing seminars, they are bringing recyclers and bureaucrats on board, and they are making a lot of organizations which are in partnership with private players and with government involved, and we are glad to be part of a lot of such organizations where we are given a stage where we can help in policy making. So
Mm-hmm.
the government is giving full support in it, and
Mm.
all the state governments and all the central government both are giving ample of opportunities to recyclers, to waste warriors, to all the stakeholders to bring in bring in their contribution, and the government is giving them a stage. They are giving, they are ready to listen to us. They are bringing in reforms. So definitely the government is doing its job,
Yeah, so
and the
you feel that
industry.
it is you feel that it is a very green area going forward, काफी scope है, and also the
Yes,
government support which you see coming in is very good. So overall, a very
yes,
good sector to look into. But
yes, and
so इसमें just tell me, suppose for someone who is starting from scratch, okay, so you had a background somewhere, you had a background here in your family, then
yes,
you also had a
yes,
personal problem which you could see into, and the future
yes,
looks good. There is government support. So for someone who wants to
yes.
start in this particular industry, go your route, what would be the say five or six step process that they should follow to make a mark in this space?
See, firstly, they whosoever wants to get into this business, first they need to figure out what exactly the problem. Is this what is the problem statement that they are gonna refer to?
Mhm.
Is there actually a problem or not? See, a lot of people are just like that. We want to do something, but they do not realize what is the actual problem in their vicinity. you know so firstly they need to find that yes, there is the specific problem. There needs to be a specific problem. One cannot go with a vague idea that yes, I want to do something for the environment and I just step in, because
It doesn't
as
work.
I said
You
that
have one particular
yeah,
cause.
that doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
आपको सबसे पहले एक पर्टिकुलर कॉज देखना पड़ेगा कि
Mm-hmm.
दिस इज द स्पेसिफिक प्लास्टिक और एनी वेस्ट दैट आई एम गोइंग टू केटर. वो
Right.
बहुत जरूरी है.
Right.
One cannot go that I'll collect all the waste
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just do something. That cannot be done. That won't,
आपका हाँ
वो
प्रॉब्लम
feasible ही
स्टेटमेंट
नहीं है.
बहुत आपका प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट बहुत वेल डिफाइंड होना चाहिए.
बहुत वेल डिफाइंड, क्योंकि हमारा डिफाइंड था कि हमें ये थर्माकोल है, हमें इसी पे स्टिक करना है. देयर
हम्म.
हैव बीन कंपनीज जिन्होंने क्लेम करा है कि हम पेट बॉटल्स भी रिसाइकिल कर रहे हैं, हम एमएलपी भी रिसाइकिल कर रहे हैं, हम एलडीपी भी कलेक्ट कर लेंगे, हम एचडीपी भी कलेक्ट कर लेंगे. टू हैव अ मैकेनिज्म to cater to all plastic is today
Right.
Impossible.
not possible, because as I
हम्म.
mentioned, the investment
Is
that
very
it
good.
will take is going to be humongous compared to the profit or the output of it. See, because
हम्म.
any day not everybody is gonna run a not for profit organization,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
right? Most of, even a social entrepreneur,
Is
whenever the
making
word
money
entrepreneur
somewhere
comes,
in.
it has to be a making money, that has to come. So if a company claims that we are recycling everything, I don't see that it is possible because the margins are very low,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
and there has been a very big scam which has come in, uh, which has come into the place that the company which was claiming to be the biggest recycler of India, ultimately it was found that their recycling plants were not working, and they were showing that we are recycling LDPA also, we are recycling HDPA, we are recycling MLP also, and at the end it was all a facade. It was just a balloon. They were
Mm-hmm.
not recycling anything. So the any new person, they need to first decide on what exactly we are gonna recycle.
Mm-hmm.
They need to focus all their energy and resources on collection of that waste. Then they need to make sure that they have soft skills through which they can align with the unorganized sector.
Okay.
If you are not able to align or work with these rag pickers, these very small, as people call them, kabadi walas,
Padiwala. Mm-hmm.
they an entrepreneur, a social entrepreneur, has to be ready to step into all these slum areas, to landfills, which generally people are not ready to,
Yeah, yeah.
because and it is not an easy task, because
It is not. It is
the
not.
foul
Yeah.
smell is there, a lot of dirt is there, so you'll have to get your hands dirty.
Okay.
मतलब वो you know गांधी जी का एक बहुत famous quote है, that it is only when we'll take the brooms in our hand we'll be able to clean our
It
cities.
is
So
yes.
it is very appropriate that you'll have to get into the dirt to do the recycling thing. Otherwise, sitting in a air conditioned office, you won't be able to make an impact. You won't be able to make a profit out of a waste business until and unless you're yourself on the field.
Okay.
I myself, my routine on daily basis is that around 6 to 7 hours I'm at my manufacturing unit, working on field with the waste, ensuring that the segregation and collection part is doing all right. I almost thrice, or at least thrice a week, I go to the slum areas where this waste is picking, to know what exactly the rag pickers, the problem they are facing, or what from where they are extracting the waste. And so a constant conversation is going with this informal sector. Otherwise,
Hmm.
you know and I have personal one-to-one relations with these 60
Nice.
waste pickers, which
अगर
is
आप वो
very
नहीं
important.
करोगे
This,
अगर आप वो नहीं
अगर आप
करोगे
वो
तो
नहीं,
ऑन ग्राउंड रियलिटी समझ में नहीं आएगा. यू विल नॉट नो
हाँ,
व्हाट
नहीं आएगी आपको
एक्चुअली द
समझ,
प्रॉब्लम
वो
आर.
बहुत जरूरी है. मतलब आपको वो कबाड़ी वालों के साथ वन ऑन वन रिलेशन बहुत जरूरी है. आपकी कंपनी से एक रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, सिंस वी आर अ वेरी माइक्रो एंड स्मॉल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, सो इट इज मोस्टली मी एंड वेरी क्लोज, द मैनेजमेंट हु आर इन डायरेक्ट कॉन्वर्जेशन विद दीज
Yes.
रैक पिकर्स एंड कबाड़ी, वो बहुत जरूरी है. अनटिल अनलेस आप उनके साथ अलाइंड नहीं हो अगर, तो आपको कभी होगा आपके पास वेस्ट आ रहा है, कभी होगा आपके पास वेस्ट ही नहीं आ रहा है, कभी बहुत ज्यादा आ रहा है, तो वो उसको जो आपको मैनेज करना है ना, वो सबसे बड़ा गेम वहीं पे है. अगर आप अपना कलेक्शन सॉर्ट कर लेते हो, अगर आपके पास एक स्ट्रीमलाइंड हो जाता है कि हाँ मेरे पास डेली एक एवरेज क्वांटिटी ऑफ वेस्ट आएगा, तो
Hmm.
वो बिजनेस स्ट्रीमलाइंड होगा. तो सबसे पहला तो काम यही है कि वेस्ट कैसे आप पे आ रहा है.
Got
दैट
it.
इज द फर्स्ट थिंग. सेकेंड थिंग, एज आई सेड, दैट सेल्स ऑफ योर प्रोडक्ट, वो
Hmm.
आपको सॉर्ट करना पड़ेगा. आपने
Sales
ग्रैनुअल्स
के बिना
बना
तो
लिए,
कुछ
अब आप
नहीं
बेच नहीं पा
है.
रहे.
Right.
हाँ.
सेल्स के बिना तो कुछ नहीं है. सेल्स इज
हाँ, मतलब सेल वही, मतलब आपको प्रूफ ऑफ कॉन्सेप्ट करना पड़ेगा कि मैं ये बना रहा हूँ, चाहे आप ग्रैनुअल्स बनाओ चाहे आप कुछ प्रोडक्ट बनाओ. मान लो आपने प्रोडक्ट ही बना दिया, कंज्यूमर गुड ही बना दिया.
ठीक है.
अगर वो गुड्स लोग खरीद सो अगर वो लोग वो गुड्स ही
Right.
नहीं खरीदेंगे, तो आप क्या करोगे? आप कितने दिन सस्टेन करोगे? आप करोगे ही नहीं. There's this guy, I won't name, but मतलब he was into manufacturing of plastic tiles
Hmm.
using plastic waste,
Hmm.
and he was doing that good that he has given number of TED talks also, and everything. He got all the media attention and everything, all the recognition and all. But the problem he faced was that he was not able to sell the tiles. There was no market for plastic tiles. The government was not buying it. Private organizations were not buying it because they were expensive in comparison to traditional tiles.
Hmm.
And aesthetics of it, they were not, might be they were not right. he was not able to sell the tiles as much he was anticipating it. Ultimately, they had to, shut down, or very less uh, impact they could make.
I think
So
that
जब तक
that journey
आप
from proof of concept to initial customer feedback to product market fit is very important to actually justify your product and if to know if it is actually working or not.
exactly exactly वो बहुत जरूरी है. And that is one another reason why we are not going into a B2C business of recycled products,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
because that is another ball game of selling a product to businesses. I feel is easier than selling it to
Consumers.
customers,
Hmm.
क्योंकि उसमें मार्केटिंग भी लगेगी, उसमें जो मतलब कस्टमर्स के पास पहुंचना वो एक ज्यादा बड़ा टास्क है.
So just
दैट इज
Customers के
वाई.
पास से पैसा निकालना is way difficult than doing it from
एग्जैक्टली
industry.
okay.
एग्जैक्टली सो
So
दैट इज वाई.
just to summarize, Abhi, so first thing is to decide to finalize your niche कि तुम किस segment में you want to sell. Second is to
एग्जैक्टली
build the social skills to work with these people on ground.
एग्जैक्टली
The third
एग्जैक्टली
one,
वो बहुत जरूरी है.
the third one is to figure out your distribution.
But
How how are you going to
hmm.
make sales? And these three would you would say are the मतलब are the core things right now
की
which you need to follow
एग्जैक्टली
to get into
ये
this.
की ये तीन चीजें बहुत की हैं, कि एक तो स्पेसिफिक नीश वो होना कि आप किसको केटर करोगे, आप क्या प्रॉब्लम को केटर करोगे, वो बहुत जरूरी है.
Hmm.
कि दिस इज द वेस्ट दैट आई एम गोइंग टू collect and recycle. If
Hmm.
you will go कि नहीं, I'll collect everything and recycle everything, that is not possible,
That is not possible.
especially for a new company. सेकंड इज कि आपके पास सॉफ्ट स्किल्स बहुत जरूरी हैं, क्योंकि आप जिनसे डील करने वाले हो, मोस्ट ऑफ देम आर नॉट इवन एजुकेटेड,
Hmm.
एंड प्रोबेबिलिटीज कि वो स्कूल भी नहीं गए होंगे.
Right.
You have
Hmm.
to deal with them. And this is you know one thing that I feel that many new age entrepreneurs are lacking somewhere. They are very good communicators, they can do amazing content and all, but for educated people, to
Got
They
it.
don't
deal
want
with
to
people who,
actually
वो बहुत
educate the
जरूरी
people
है.
educated. Right.
हाँ, वो एक की मतलब की पॉइंट है कि क्या आप उनके साथ काम करने में रेडी हो कि जो एजुकेटेड नहीं है.
Hmm.
Hmm.
वो बहुत जरूरी है. एंड सेकेंडली, यू हैव टू डिसाइड एंड फिगर आउट दैट वेयर विल यू सेल योर प्रोडक्ट्स. वो
Hmm.
बहुत जरूरी है पहले से डिसाइड
Got it.
करना.
Got it. Got it.
Perfect. Loved it. I think काफी insightful था the last 1 hour of conversing with you on waste management and thermo waste solutions. Uh, we'll move on to a quick fun session with you, which is a rapid fire
Right,
session. I
right.
will be playing Karan Johar for the next 10 minutes and asking you
Oh,
10
that's good.
questions, and your answers have to be rapid and full of fire. So, are you
Done, done.
ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. And controversial also. I'm ready for that also.
Superb. So let's get started with this. Your first question is, if you could eliminate one single-use plastic item from existence, what would it be?
MLP, the packaging that is being used by companies for snacks, chips packets and all these. If I can, if I today get a power that मित्रों आज रात 10 बजे से MLP नहीं यूज होगी, तो I'll do that.
MLP is multi-layer
I'll do that.
plastics.
हाँ, मतलब बेसिकली आप एक चिप्स का पैकेट खरीद रहे हो या भुजिया का पैकेट खरीद रहे हो, तो वो जिसमें वो आ रहा है, वो जिस दिन मोदी मतलब एनी लीडर वो बैन कर दे रात 10 बजे आके, दैट वुड द बेस्ट. डी डीमोनेटाइजेशन हुआ था, वैसे ही डी पैकेजिंग होना चाहिए.
Got it.
Uh, okay, perfect. What is the most unexpected use of recycled materials that you have come across, or your favorite eco-friendly product or innovation that you've come across recently?
So recently I saw a few people, they were using thermocol as a planters. तो वो काफी अलग लगा, कि क्योंकि बहुत सी सिटीज में थर्माकोल रिसाइकिल तो हो ही नहीं रहा है मेजरली, मतलब बहुत सी क्या मेजरली सिटीज में रिसाइकिल ही नहीं हो रहा है.
Hmm.
तो लोगों ने वो दे स्क्रेप थर्माकोल एंड उसमें सॉइल भर के दे वर यूजिंग एज अ प्लांटर. डेफिनेटली आई डोंट नो इफ इट इज सेफ फॉर द प्लांट, बट डेफिनेटली a good solution if there is no recycling happening.
Wow. Nice.
Okay. Most challenging aspect of running a waste recycling business.
It's a 24/7 job, because the people that we are dealing with. these all these Safai Mitra, they'll call you at 11 o'clock in the night, at 12 o'clock in the night, even if it's a Saturday or Sunday. There is no Saturday or Sunday for us. They'll call and they're like कि भैया हमें ये प्रॉब्लम आ गई, and their problems are varied. मतलब उनको कभी पुलिस वाले पकड़ रहे हैं, उनको कभी एमसीडी पकड़ रही है, कुछ भी हो रहा है, so they'll call us because for them we are the ones who are you know uh, between them, connecting them and the entire world. So they'll call us for personal problems also. They'll call us for problems that they are facing on landslide, on landfill. So that is one thing that they'll call you anytime. They don't have working hours, so because of them we do not also have any working hours.
Dream collaboration or partnership for thermowastesolutions.com.
Oh yeah, so definitely I'll use this opportunity. I hope that someone from IKEA is listening to us, and because IKEA is one of the brands who has been doing a lot of work on sustainability, and I since you guys, Mayank, you are from ISB, right? ISB
Yeah.
Hyderabad, so Hyderabad has the best IKEA in
Yeah,
country.
yeah, that's
So definitely that is one key collaboration. And if you have been to IKEA Hyderabad, you would have seen a lot of things around sustainability. So IKEA is one of our dream collaboration.
great. I hope you get that. You have a reach out from them
Yeah,
soon.
yeah. I hope that too.
If you could have dinner with any one person, dead or alive, who would it be?
Dead or alive, one dinner. See, definitely. As a young 26-year-old, that would definitely be my crush. But since it's about professional, so definitely Tim Cook or yeah, I think yeah, with Tim Cook, I would want to have a dinner.
If you were not in business, one company that you would love to work in.
Apple, as I said, Tim
Everyone's
Cook. So
favorite.
definitely, Apple is one of the company that I would. Yeah.
Good choice.
One piece of advice for individuals looking to reduce their environmental footprint.
So one advice is that use reusable cutlery. This is one thing that nowadays all of us are always on the go and taking coffee or chai on the go, and even from McDonald's we take takeaways. Avoid using their single use or one time use packaging. Take your own containers, take your own cutlery with you when you want to get a on the go meal. Always carry your bottle. This is something which is very much doable and people should do.
Amazing.
Lovely thought for everyone who's listening. Uh, if you weren't in waste recycling, what other profession would you pursue?
Uh, so another profession, it would have been something related to networking. As I said, I have always been up for partnering. So I would want to start a startup which could help people to network. Definitely, LinkedIn is there, but LinkedIn has now become more of a show, a place where people can show or boast their work
Yeah.
or job seeking. It has, somewhere it has gone from being a networking platform to a marketing platform for businesses or individuals. So definitely, I would want to work in the space of networking. Something for networking, I would want to do.
So, if you were a shark at the Shark Tank, uh,
Yeah, which
so
I aim to.
you have we would love to see you there. You have three options, which is invest, acquire, or kill. So, one startup in the waste, recycling, or collection space that you would want to invest in, one that you would want to
Okay.
acquire, and one that you would think that it's not doing that great and can probably shut down.
Shutdown. See, taking names for shutdown is something not a good practice legally also. But as I mentioned, that there has been a company claiming to recycle all the things, and it was found that their four plants were not even operational, and they had taken credit for thousands of kgs of plastic. So I would have killed them, shut them. Acquire. So there's this company in New York. They have made an alternative for thermocol, mycelium product they have made. So I would definitely would want to acquire them and invest in. If I was not Sanyam Jan and started Thermo Waste, so definitely I would have invested in Thermo Waste Solutions because it is profitable. It is making an impact.
Great answer.
Super. So final question, which we ask all our guests, what is the one problem that you would pay for it to be solved, which is not in the waste recycling space?
Acha, okay, but I would want to mention one problem in waste management.
All right.
Uh, there are a lot of bogus companies in it. There's a lot of greenwashing happening in it. So I'm ready to pay or contribute to the government fund to bring an auditor, bring independent auditors who can audit all the recycling companies in the country and eliminate the fake ones,
The ones.
because we've been facing problems because of them. Because one, whenever such a scam is exposed, it puts a dent on entire
On the
recycling
entire
industry.
industry. Hmm.
They create a huge problem in the uh, rates and the economics and sales. They create a lot of problem there. So this is one problem that I would pay. Another problem, a general problem I would pay is oh, that's a question which cannot be answered rapidly, because there are a lot of problems that India is or the world is going through. But yeah, definitely one problem is the Gen Z attitude. Some things that they do really trigger me. So I'm sitting in a cafe, and there was a group of Gen Zs, and the kind of photographs they click, they need to, something needs to be done for these. Definitely Gen Zs are very resourceful, having said the problems, but some attitude problems that these Gen Zs have, the entitledness that they have,
Yeah.
some education for them.
I think someone who's listening would love to build something to solve this.
Yeah, I'll invest in that.
Perfect. I think this was really interesting. We loved this section.
Yeah,
Thank you, Sayam, for sharing your insights and your passion for waste recycling with us today. It's been an eye-opening conversation. Would you love to say something to our listeners as a parting thought?
uh, so yeah, around waste management is that I would really want all the listeners to make informed choices. All our daily activities adds up to waste, adds up to carbon footprints, adds up to global warming. So make informed choices. Look how you can change your daily activities into more sustainable. There have been people saying that there is no environment change, it is us who are changing, our bodies changing. No, we are in April and we have 37 degrees Celsius temperature in Delhi just in April. Imagine what's gonna happen in June. So if we want to save ourselves from this heat wave, definitely we need to change, and we need to ponder on our activities, that how we are the problem. It's not the nature who problem nature में नहीं है, problem हम लोगों में है. We are
Very true.
the problem and we need to fix it.
Lovely. I
Lovely.
think that would be all for this podcast. We would put in your socials and your website link in the description, and we would love our listeners to
Definitely.
check them out and join the movement towards a sustainable future. So until then, stay green and keep innovating. Bye bye.
Yeah. Thank you. It was
Thank
lovely
you,
meeting you
Sayyam,
guys.
for taking out time. It was a
It
pleasure.
was a total pleasure and a fun conversation throughout.